Activation of the King's Chamber. What I feel and perceive about this webinar and why it's coming in at this time is that, first of all, the Great Pyramid of Giza, the King's Chamber, is aligned with creation. And when the capstones are aligned, it brings coherence in a universal level too, not just in this planet. So it aligns our spirit to help us remember that version of us, that our own capstones are in place. So for me, it's about remembering our own alignment with True North, with our being, with creation, when everything is in coherence already. So in these two webinars, what I feel is we'll be doing is to align our own capstones and working with the energy of the Great Pyramid of Giza to allow us remember ourselves, that version of ourselves that is in that frequency already. And then what I want to do, or what I feel called to do, which is happening in the world at the moment, what's happening with different wars that are going on, is that, for example, when I work with past lives have, when you go to an ancient site, you remember something if you feel called to that place. So some places are about remembering, and when you remember, you feel an emotion. Now, the emotion is the signature code to help you resolve what you didn't resolve in that life. So for me, how I work with past life information is I feel emotion in my body, and I allow that emotion to go through the etheric field and go back to the different time and place, that other parallel universe that I'm still not complete in, because it means there's a part of me that is not complete. And when we are making transition, maybe in that life, I don't know, I was killed, or I feel betrayed, or I betrayed somebody, so I feel unresolved, there's something unresolved, so I'm stuck in that old emotion of being betrayed, or I betrayed somebody, the guilt. So that is leaving a soul aspect of me behind. So the past lives are there to help us remember, go through. The signature code is the emotion. The emotion is the signpost to go back to the point where you got stuck. It's a signature code. Now, the emotion is also connected to other moments you got stuck as well, or your ancestors too, because my ancestors' emotions are inside me as well. And they're in the genetics, the epigenetics. So as I transform my emotions, my ancestors will do the same. As they evolve, I'll evolve. As I evolve, they evolve. So the emotions, I invite you, for example, what's happening in the world at the moment when we see murder or rape in the system, or war, what it's doing is it's activating those timelines where you had a frozen emotion, or your ancestors were more, and they had a frozen emotion, they dissociated. The key is they dissociated. The key is you dissociated from the emotion and letting it run through your system. So when you let it run through your system, the emotion will clear, and then that soul fragment of you will come back into wholeness, and you will go into a new state of consciousness. It's allowing you to go to a new state of consciousness. So what I feel is playing out in the world at the moment is we're given the opportunity, by what we're seeing, to see, where's the war inside me? Where's the signature code of war and rape inside me? Because if I'm seeing it, I'm in it, and it's within me. And then if I allow this transformation to work in my system, my genetics, my past lives, and allow myself to come back into wholeness, then there will be no war. Then there will be no rape in the system. So I invite you to use what's opening in your system, what triggers your emotions, to help you resolve the parts of your system you could not resolve because it was too heavy for you. So in this webinar, I'm going to align the capstones of you to align your vessel so strong that you can transform everything where you feel trapped, where you feel stuck, where you feel regret, where you feel fear, where you feel abused, where there was rape, for example, or war, and clear it completely from the system. And then you go to the version of you that's here already, that is living without war, that is conscious already, that is loved already, that is sharing love already, which is generous already, which is courageous already, which is safe already. This is what I feel this webinar is about. And that's why I'm being guided to use the King's Chamber as a tool to help us remember and to embody our version of us that is already there in that state of consciousness where there is no war in the system. Then the physical aspect has been cleansed and purified so that aspect of your soul can merge and embody as one. This is what I perceive is coming in this webinar. And it really is the time for us to do this work, to resolve what we could not resolve. I do not need to experience this in my life again. I'm ready to resolve it in my system because it's within me. Also, what's coming up very strong as well is to resolve where the puppet masters were using the masses to create war, where my ancestors were used to go to war for the wrong reasons. They thought it was the right reasons. They thought they were fighting for their country, for their people, but there was something evil. There was something where the puppet masters were stringing them along. And that is very active in the field at the moment. So if you can consciously know their puppet masters are pulling the strings at the moment for the masses to play their game. I am not a puppet master. If I have been a puppet master, I will resolve that in this webinar, because we all, I'm sure, have been puppet masters in some way, and we all have been the victim or the puppet for others, the slave for others. So I would like to open this field within this webinar to clear the manipulation of the puppet masters, the games of the puppet masters, release the veils of the puppet masters, and to release your own puppet master from your own system. So we go back into unity consciousness on all levels. This is what this webinar is about. And this is why I feel guided to the King's Chamber, that it's powerful enough to hold you to transform and to enlighten and remember and embody that version of you that knows all this already, but bring it into the cellular level. So I look forward to seeing you at the webinar if you're ready for this. Are you ready to take this jump? Thank you. I'm really curious to see these results in the system. Have a beautiful day.